G'day guys, it's Calvin, and today Shay's going to be doing this job. He doesn't know it yet. I haven't actually told him what he's doing. We happen to be looking at a 90s, mid-90s Hilux ute. This ute was with us a little while ago, and it came in to have a gearbox fitted and some other work done, and ended up having a stuffed thrust washer. So we got everything out ready to put the gearbox in and laid everything out, and then we were checking, pulled the sump off, and there was metal in the sump. So let's have a bit of a look at that footage, and I'll show you what we found, and then we're going to come back to diagnosing this new engine. G'day guys, it's Calvin, and over there's Jason somewhere. We've got a two-wheel drive ute that's come in. We built this ute what seems like a long time ago. It's had multiple owners since we've worked on it last. I've had contact with a couple of them, but let's have a look over it, see what we got, and then we'll see what work we need to do to it today. It appears by the cert plate that it was certed in 2007. Just a pretty basic air intake. You can see back in the day we used to weld the fitting onto the throttle body. We've changed that now to just a screw in. Running the factory stepper motor. Again, I'm not sure what link, whether it's a G3 or a early G4. Got a remote oil filter housing. Not normally my pick, but sometimes we do that. The loom was all tucked underneath, and that bit I do remember. Now you also see that there's not many wires in the engine bay. That's all been taken out, put inside. When we sent it out, it didn't have the Gilmore drives on, so that's one of the jobs that Jason is going to fix. There's an oil leak for the power steer. There's an oil leak with the sump. I don't think we put that big massive battery in it. It had a smaller battery, but the owner did request the battery stayed under the bonnet or under the hood. If you're somewhere in America or other places of the world that use a hood. Well, the back fell off. Josh, the back fell off.
Bit in the front.
Bit in the front falling off? Yeah, don't want the front to fall off. No, that's bad, but there appears to be a gearbox in here. And a radiator. Aluminium radiator that may have been replaced. In here, all this works. It's had the addition of those gauges onto the dash, tucked in. And I think all the wiring is under here. Pretty sure I did all the relays and fuses under here. A couple of things to note on the two-wheel drives. Oh, and this wasn't us. It has been done since. But a couple of notes on the two-wheel drives is to pack them back as far as you can so you've got room for a radiator. To do that, a V6 handbrake assembly is fitted, and then the original plate is blanked off. And you can see this one's tucked well back into that engine bay. If it's a petrol one, like this one, perfect. This was a petrol one. We cut the corner out of the tappet cover, or the rocker cover. See, that's all cut out. That gives clearance for the brake booster. And we'll look at the sump plate a bit closer once Jason gets it up in the air, as I said earlier. Right, Jason, all yours, man. It's all yours. Good. Jason, I attached that. That was me. There was like a plate on the side I could bolt it to. That was not 2007. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Dumb idea.
Covered in oil? Yeah, the covered in oil's bad. What else did you find? We put a nice set of headers on this one, eh? We've got our race style mounts. That was one of our early ones. Wiring looks good. Those are nice headers we made. I don't actually know. It was us that did them, but I don't know which one of us did it.
Johnny 5? Yeah, Johnny 5.
Maybe Johnny 5 did. Yeah, maybe. That was out of the. No, I don't think it was out of the long kit set we made. Might have been. We had a long kit set we used to have. This is the extension plate that Jason is taking off. Moves the whole sump forward. And this one's got an R151 or an R150 two-wheel drive gearbox on it. It's got this little extension, so it bolts in. There's the factory mount. A bit of a cut and shut to make it all work. And it puts the shifter in kind of a close position. So the sump actually, the front sump sits here. And the plate brings it all forward. It's a piece of silicone. That definitely looks like a bit of bearing material. Oh, there's definitely grey in the bottom of this. Oh,
Yes, it's very gritty in the bottom.
You scrape the black oil away and it is just grey. Okay. Well, that's bad news, isn't it? This was meant to be a simple, just take the sump off, fix the oil leak, do the rear main seal, put it back together, fix the Gilmore drives. Simple, basic. It wasn't meant to be metal in the sump. Donk. Oh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of movement in it. And that would explain why you're having problems in the crank and the belt as well, possibly. Yeah, definitely in the thrust washers. Oh, we got in, Jace gave this a wiggle. And hey, it's just a rough test, but nothing going clunky clunk. But then he got in, as you saw, and the whole crankshaft moves around. So you've got your thrust washers here and here.
Back one.
It's the back one. Get the light onto it. Yeah, it's torn that back one to pieces.
Yeah, look. See it.
Yeah, you can actually see it coming out.
Yeah, here it is, look.
There it is.
Oh, yeah, that'll be alright.
Yep. It's torn now. Why? I don't think it's that clutch is hydraulic. Hydraulic internal release bearing. Unlikely to be that, and it's not a real grunty clutch.
Nah.
But it's coming from.
It's generally, it's pushing that way.
It's back forward.
It's back forward, so you'd think it'd be.
It's a master cylinder. And it's been adjusted wrong. Clutch adjusted wrong.
Oh, it's new. That looks like a new one.
It does look like a new one.
Yeah, it's a new one. There's nothing in.
That's one of the ones we've sold. But it looks like that's the. It should have had a bigger one anyway. So why? If it's a clutch issue, constant load on the clutch, but it's got a hydraulic release bearing. So it's driver error.
Wonderful.
Only a little while. Last owner put them on.
And put it back standard.
And I think he built those himself. I don't think it's a professional kit. It's not one he bought of us. So it's not the professional kit. So I'm wondering if it's misaligned. And then it keeps popping the...
Or it's got too much. Just trying to twist the crank. Like
Yeah, that's it. It's doing that.
Yeah.
It's pulling...
It's too much load on it. Like it's been too tight.
Pulling it one way.
Yeah.
To run like 2007 for years, I could go back through and see where I because I talked to the last customer at one point when he was putting, because it didn't have power steering on it originally either. This one only had an alternator on it.
Yeah.
So when we put it together, it was alternator only. So he's put all the other stuff on it and put some gillies on it.
I put it clean.
I reckon put it back to standard too. So we're trying to work out why it's done thrust washers. And often it's because of a constant load on the back of the engine. Big heavy duty clutches. This isn't a big heavy duty clutch, it's the same clutch we've been running for years. Hydraulic release bearing, so unless the clutch is worn and the fingers are coming out, but it doesn't look very worn, that clutch.
Nah.
It doesn't look like it's had someone riding the clutch. Hasn't been super hot.
Nah, this is overextending.
Pushes too far and then keeps pushing.
Yeah.
Because as soon as it dries that thrust washers out, there's no lubrication, and it starts to wear them.
Well, I'll start with the full on clutch, maybe?
Starting with the foot on clutch, maybe?
I know, late model Evos do that. You guys do the late model until you push the clutch in.
Yeah.
They're a pull type clutch, and they wear the thrust washers out,
Oh, yeah.
thrust bearings out. That's over a long period of time, but...
You know, the old, some of the old cars had a carbon, Hillman Hunter, carbon release thrust, or they had a carbon release bearing. And if you started them and when you put on the clutch, it would wear it out faster.
Oh.
Yeah. Not like that. Doesn't solve our problem on this one though.
No.
It was on just it's broken. Customer's going to pull the engine out and fix it. We'll see. Chances are we're going to be seeing this one back in quite a while once it's sorted, to sort out any other issues that have come along, and he'll be supplying parts and bits and pieces. So
As long as I don't end up like a container like that of parts.
you may do. Have you seen where I fed the wiring loom in? So here's your power supply, right? But the wiring loom's down here. You can't even get your hands in there.
I'll probably be taking the intake manifold off.
So what you have to do is there's a bung inside, and you have to unplug everything inside and then feed it through that one rubber grommet down there. And it's quite a lot comes out of it. This isn't right either. This is crimped. Is that a fuel line? That's a fuel return, and it's crimped up. It's creased. That wasn't expected. Jace didn't really want to pull the sump off it.
I know, you know that feeling like, I just don't want to do this. This is going to turn into something worse.
And guess what, it did.
It
But
did.
better we found it. And it's interesting to see. So, stuffed thrust washers. Not sure whether we're going to continue, what's going to happen at this point. We're going to call it quits for this today. And Jason will have a tidy up. Not much more we can do at this point until we hear back from the customer. It came full of parts that were not fitted. Yep. So we'll see how we go. Catch you later. Yeah, so yeah.
Cool. From that long ago?
2007 it was certed.
Yeah.
So I
Before
built
that.
this one prior to that. It was actually built for a young guy out at Morrinsville. I remember this one quite distinctly.
Yeah.
It didn't have power steer on it when we built it. It's got some version of Link ECU in it from that era. So I'll have to check what it's got in it. Now I actually drove it part way in, but it is running terribly. It's had a second-hand engine fitted, and we're working on diagnostics. This is diagnostic gear, teaching people how to diagnose. Okay?
And then the reason why we should diagnose.
Well, we already know the reason we should diagnose, because it's faster than putting parts at it.
Yeah.
Hey, let's just get the parts cat in
Yeah.
throw parts at it. Oh, it still doesn't fix it.
Oh, that sounds like my life.
So we're not going to do parts cannon. We do not do parts cannon. We do fix it properly. Okay? fix it properly. Now, as I said, I did attempt to drive it in. There's lots of background noise. There's guys fixing tractors out there. There's compressors going. There's another engine running. But we're going to get in and do this anyway. Crank it. It's out of gear, eh? I really don't want to ute in my leg. Cool.
Oh, battery?
It doesn't crank without the battery. And this battery terminal's cold now. Where it was quite hot when I got it in here, eh?
Yeah, it was working.
Yeah, go.
I got nothing.
I'll push the alarm button. That's a really good start. Diagnose it, push the alarm. Have you got any dash lights? Got some dash lights? Oh, it actually runs! Hold it. Hear it popping. I've got every light on in the dash.
Did you shut that down?
Yeah, I shut it down.
Okay. Oh, that's just shit burning off the manifolds. That's okay. We got
Just oil on the manifold?
Yeah, it's just shit on the manifold.
Now,
No, it was mess.
did I tell you the very first things we do on an engine like this is check the oil and water? I've checked the oil
Yeah.
because there's definitely got no water, so I don't want to run it for too long. This has also been posted on our Facebook page, Facebook discussion.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll have a look at those discussions, eh? I'll see if I can find it. So we got this post on the internet where the owner of this has asked for some help. So, and this pretty much tells the story quite well, actually. So we'll read it out. Basically, got a motor off Osaka Motor Importers. Did cam out, water pump, rotors, distributors. However, it misfires heaps and smokes real bad out the intake. And the exhaust.
Yeah, and the exhaust.
Oh, I couldn't see out the back when I was driving it.
Oh, it was bad. It was black too.
Oh, I could see the smoke, but I couldn't see beyond that. There was just smoke. I've double checked the timing.
Black ass.
Put new spark plugs in as well. I've got new spark plugs in it. Okay, good. Previous motor in ute was a second gen 1UZ, and the new one is a first gen. Can you tell any difference?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Well, those are gen 2s.
Yeah, they
He
are.
swapped the gen 2 fuel rails on.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can't tell the difference in the block.
No.
And I think he's probably got his tappet covers in it.
He's actually made it look like
It's like a gen 2.
second gen, eh?
Yep. Okay, good. But I left all the wiring the same. It's running a Link G4 Plus. That's a G4 Plus Storm, blue one, single plug.
Yeah.
So I just left it and never touched anything, haha. The old motor was wired in with only one cam angle sensor, which is the left-hand one. And it's run like that since 2007. Okay, so that's important to note. It was running beforehand. So I've only got one plugged in on the replacement motor as well. Also, I swapped the whole manifold, fuel rails, intake from the Gen 2 motor onto the replacement, which is the correct thing to do. But basically, and I'm not sure about, so tappet covers get swapped because they've got different size breathers. You take the intake manifold off, swap it over. On a Gen 1, the fuel rail, the crossover pipe is different at the back for the heater outlet, and the coil mounting is different. So you swap all that stuff over. And he swapped some of the ghillie stuff as well, of course. So you basically put all the accessories onto the long block of the original motor. Doesn't seem to want to idle, it's hard to start and misses heaps. Any ideas what to try next? Cheers. So that's what we got. That's a pretty good rundown of what's been done to it.
Yes, it's a decent history.
So I've seen a couple of plugs unplugged inside. He has sent me a list of fault codes out of the ECU, and there's numerous fault codes.
Out of the link.
Yep. But they're like AV15 or AV16. It's like they're not even there. It's logging things that aren't present, so they're not actually an issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's got a couple of videos of it running, and
Oh, yeah. Well, running good?
no, it runs crappy.
Okay.
We'll have a look at some of the suggestions, eh?
This is on a forum.
Here, oh, this is Facebook.
So
Compression test the motor.
it's probably a good idea.
Okay, that's actually the what I'm going to tell you to do, isn't it?
Mm.
And why am I telling you to do a compression test?
Well, because we'll know what's going on and where the cylinder is, and we'll be able to isolate the problem a bit better if it is.
Is it a compression problem?
We don't know.
Good, okay. I don't think it's a compression problem.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any ideas what it might be? Got some suggestions?
Ignition?
So you think it's a misfire?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then again, like I was talking to you before about how it sounds like it's almost about to hydraulic.
Correct.
Yeah.
What that is, I can tell you what that is. That's it firing the spark at the wrong time.
Ah, okay, yes.
So it's way over advanced. Now it's going to be way over advanced. So what I think it is, I think it's a phasing issue between the cram and crank angle sensor mechanically affecting the computer. So I don't think it's a computer fault. I think it's a phasing between the cam and crank, and I think there's a mechanical reason for it doing that.
Okay.
And I don't think it's normal. So it could be cam angle sensor, crank angle sensor, bent pickup wheel, rotors in backwards, maybe.
In here.
Yeah. We've got scissor gears in here, and whilst I don't think he's been in there, who knows what's been done in the past? Has someone put some cams in this engine in Japan and then said, stuff it, I'm going to throw it out because it doesn't run right? Has he purchased a problem?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so I'm doing a compression test to check whether the engine itself has got compression to rule out, so I don't have to take the tappet covers off. Pretty much I'll go 80% chance that I don't have to take the tappet covers off if I've got good compression. And hey, do we have compression here and no compression there? Do we have a broken camshaft and it's running on 6 cylinders and that camshaft's just touching every now and again and turning, and then it's blowing stuff out the intake because it's tries to catch and stops catching and does catch and doesn't. Engines that have been sitting, broken camshafts are a possibility because they lock up in the cam bearings because they don't get oil. Okay. So we do a compression test, one, to see that the engine itself is okay. And it's kind of silly because, two, you're going to take it with a grain of salt because it's running crappy. Like your engine, lots of compression on number 1.
Yep.
Could have been just that it was poking a lot of oil through and it's oiled the rings and it's some compression. Okay, so compression test is a fantastic idea, and it gives you a moment to actually have some intimacy with the engine, get a bit of a feel for it. I would hope you would notice things like this.
Oh yeah, that'll help.
Okay, so you're going to come to me and you're going to say, well, it's got compression, but these injector plugs, now these have been on there for 15 years and they weren't the greatest back then, but this is a problem. We can't do that, can we?
Well, that'll cause a misfire.
It could cause all sorts of weird things. So let's fix the things that we do know first. Okay, so fix the things we can see. You're also, when you're doing a compression test, you're going to confirm that the firing order is correct.
Okay.
It's got the numbers on the front. And if you pop the caps off, you can check the rotors are in the right way. Okay, what else we got? Any junkyard engine, I do the basics. Compression test, check injectors are firing correctly, etc. See if it's misfiring on one complete bank or random. Pretty good. That's pretty good advice. Yep. Okay, so that's really good advice. Okay, next one. I know you've checked your timing, but what I'd say the problem is or firing order. That's what I'd say the problem is or firing order. Okay, let's see. Check your leads, because each distributor and coil run 2 cylinders on each side of the motor.
Okay, that hasn't been crimped properly.
Okay, and this is from the owner, just double checked the order, and it's correct. The timing marks on everything seem to be lined up as well. Been staring at this for weeks now. And this is one of those situations where the owner's done everything, okay? But he admits that hasn't found it, so he knows that he hasn't actually done anything. And he's actually receptive to some ideas. And it's really easy when you're doing a job like this. You've had a job when you've been looking at it, and actually when you come to fix it, it's actually something easy. You've gone, oh, this is so hard. But then it's actually something simple, just because you've overlooked it.
I hope so.
Yep.
We always hope so.
Also check the PCV valve isn't blocked. Smoke is white, so it's likely oil possibly blowing past rings circulating around intake. It was black. It was black.
Dude.
Black today. But I haven't looked. The videos might be.
Okay, let's check that.
Oh, my money is on stuck valves.
Oh yeah.
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 Heat compression test.
Yeah.
I used to see stuck valves. I remember a boat quite distinctly. He had a breakup.
What sticks the valve though?
So, just sitting,
sitting,
and it gets carbon on it.
Yep.
And then you give it a rev, and the carbon sticks the valve down. It was a non-VVTi Gen 1 engine. He just took the exhaust off and put a screwdriver in, or a pry bar, and he touched the valve, and it went ping, back up. Carbon cleaned it, brake cleaned it, was good. So he was lucky. The one I got.
How did you check the firing order with the compression test?
Well, you're gonna do it here, because what you do it you're gonna take the leads out.
Yeah.
And then there's numbers on here.
Yeah.
Of which one it goes to, so you're gonna double check it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Easy. Oh, here's another one of my customers. Ben, I got one from, and the cams were not timed up correctly. Check the dots on the back of the cams. Not saying it was your fault though. We've talked about that, haven't we?
Already, yeah.
Huh?
Well, you did. You mentioned it first.
Oh, Mark, did you time it right? If it's smoking out of the intake, you've probably done it wrong, especially because it's consistent. Okay, yep, fair enough. All the marks are lined up. Both cam pulleys notches are at TDC, match the TDC marks, and the crank is lined up as well. I've got other people to check it and they agree it's timed. However, I'll dig deeper and see why it sounds like it's untimed at the same time. So we've got people thinking it's a timing problem. Did you replace the tensioner? Yeah, he did. I'll pull the cam covers off and have a look inside and see what I see. Right, oh. Now this guy's actually I believe he's the moderator. And he's really clever. He's doing some really cool videos as well. Make sure that you're using the cam sensor on the right bank of the engine. The right bank is when you're sitting in the driver's seat. So over there. So American, it's the wrong side. That side? No. So links always.
You said it was on that side.
When I say always, the preferred method on a link is the left-hand side. It's been running here for a long time. On a mega squirts, they often use the other side, and he uses a lot of mega squirts.
Yeah.
That cam gear tooth is the one that physically lines up with cylinder 1 being at top dead center. Yeah, it's plugged into the left-hand one. Driver's seat looking at it. Yep, left hand, it is the left hand. Only because the last engine was pulled out was plugged into the same place. Absolutely, that's the correct place. Okay, so we'll move on from that one because, and it's just again, different ECUs, different way of timing them. Okay, both cylinder heads need to be skimmed and done compression test on, maybe it has some bent valves. I don't think English is their first language, but I think we'll just compression test it. Smoking in the last picture has me thinking compression, and your starter seems to turn faster than mine as well. I wonder what starter's in it. It might have the big 2 kilowatt starter in it. Then they turn fast.
2 kilowatts.
Yeah, there's a 1.4 and a 2. Have you done a compression test on all cylinders? Your motor internals could be destroyed. Inspect them. Okay.
So this side's number 1.
Got it? Good.
Yeah.
That's number 1.
Yeah.
You pointed at the engine. Yeah, that's number 1. Yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, what have we just done? What did I do before?
Timed it.
So put it on TDC, and I'll check the time marks there and there. Do they look good?
Yes, they line up.
Now, this vehicle coming in's probably a little bit more advanced in the diagnosis than I was hoping for in my diagnosis video this year. But it's a really good example of checking stuff properly and doing the basics and where to go. And it's really good to see on some of these forums, people are giving really, really good advice. Check the compression, check the timing, confirm that the engine itself is okay, check that firing order, because those are some of the real common things that go wrong. I'm with compression tests first. I was actually hoping it had a radiator, and the radiator's in the back, but I'm pretty sure we can make it run good enough and rev good enough and fix this in this state. I was hoping to give it a drive because I haven't driven this one for ages. It used to go pretty good, but not as, this one got the big exhaust. So this one got the flash long tube headers. So we made some big long headers for it. And then it got the big gearbox in it, the big R151. Well, yeah, it was a 151, but it got a 3-inch exhaust, and it didn't go as good as the 2.5-inch exhaust ones. So we do have numbers of where they go, but in this case, just chuck some numbers on the top of them as well, so we can confirm 100%. Shay's doing compression test. We helped him out do his own engine the other day. He's only little boy. He's only got 4 cylinders. And we're going to train him into these 8-cylinder things. Oh, you used to have a Ute, didn't you?
Yep.
Used to have a Hilux with a V8 in it?
I did. One of the first.
Yeah, way back. Why else is a compression test real good? What else do you see? Whatever.
You know the overall health of the motor, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it helps you see what the spark plugs are going to look like as well. So lay them out in order, which is something that you're very good at. Yeah. Lay them all out. Get rid of this intake, so we can see in there. Number 8 lead is going to be a real pain to get out because this is a petrol one with the big brake booster, and we've actually cut the tappet cover down in that corner, which you'll see. No, that was a good question. Okay, so it's handy having a newbie to use Ed's in the workshop because he asks newbie questions. You okay being called a newbie?
Yeah,
newbie?
You call me whatever you like, mate.
So what'd you ask?
I was checking these going to the right place as I was pulling them off, like you suggested.
Removing them. There's no pulling off in this workshop. You could do that in your own time.
I love a good pull off though. Okay. I said, this here's number 4, because I said number 2.
Yes.
I was like, okay, number 2's there. Alright, popped off number 2. Number
Good.
2. Went to pop off number 8, and it's connected to what it says to number 4 here.
Okay. Cool. So see down here. See down here we've got number 2.
Yep.
Can we see that? Can we see we've got a number 2? And we've got a number 4. We've got a number 6. We've got an 8.
Yes.
So it's either, this one here is either connected to number 2 or number, I can't be connected to number 4.
No, I did think that too before I asked the question.
No, it's like, Ken. So, because this distributor, okay, does 2 on this side and 2 on that side. 2 on this side, 2 on that side. Okay, and it's the same distributor cap on this side. Look, so over here, we've got number 2. So this isn't connected to number 2, is it?
No. We know that. Yeah.
Good,
I should have started on that side.
Because that one's connected to number 2.
Mm.
So this outer one is connected to number 2 when it's on that side, and number 4 when it's on this side. So this is number 4.
And because we're on this side, that's number 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this one
It's going to be number 8.
is number 8.
And on this side, it's going to be number 6.
Yes, which is on that side, so it transfers over to that side.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
That's
That
good.
does confuse people.
It does.
I see this come problem.
Yeah.
And this, I probably should do a video specifically on that topic alone. Okay, so yeah, so on this one, we're going to use the top numbers, 2, 8, 3, 5. And on this side, we're going to use the ones in the circles, 4, 6, 7, 1. And of course, this is the coil lead. And this is the coil lead. So sometimes I do see that swapped around.
Yeah.
And they kind of run like this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, this is actually a coil lead. So again, just checking that, that's a coil lead. And that's a coil lead.
That one.
You're just going to do it by hand?
Yeah.
That ain't good, is it?
Nah. That would have been letting out compression. Because even those crimp washers, they wouldn't have been... See, they haven't even been crimped down, eh? They're not flat.
No, hasn't been. That washer hasn't been down. BKR6EP-11. That's okay. They're okay. I prefer Nippon Denso just because.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in the UZs, I buy them by the like 90 at a time. Oh, look what else we've got. Other things to think about. Look what we got here. And this is the sort of problem I'm looking for. Okay.
Okay.
So we've come into an engine and we haven't had time to look.
Yeah.
We've got a wiring loom and high tension leads. What's in this wiring loom?
Oh, yes.
Crank angle
Yep.
and the cam angle sensor. And you've got wires sitting onto high tension leads.
Well, I don't even like how they were...
That's why I like the proper covers to go on.
You know how they were cable
Yep.
tied? And I undid the cable ties because just to get a better view of them as well, but it just lets them breathe and they don't bang and arc off each other, you know, like...
That's why it's got all the little
Yeah.
little spaces through there.
Yep.
So this is the sort of thing that we could be experiencing.
Yep.
This isn't a normal problem.
No. Now,
The owner...
if we ran that under there, would it be as bad?
I think if we could tuck them out, I think if we put that under and tuck them out up would be a good idea.
Yeah.
The owner's got some mechanical skills. He managed to get an engine in here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've checked the cam timing. I don't know whether he's checked those in there, but it doesn't matter at the moment. We're checking anyway. But this, again, this is why you're doing a compression test as well. So you can get a feel for little things around the engine. Now, you've already picked up on that's fallen off.
Yeah.
You know, you've picked up on...
And that was unplugged.
On more than one injector lead plug falling out, isn't it?
Yeah. That...
Oh yeah, the EFI sensor. This one was actually unplugged when it came in. They almost look like they're new rotors too.
They do. And caps.
A little bit hard to see in the camera, but that one's good. And that one's good. So externally that timing's all good. I wanted this right out of the way is what I was doing. Just so we can't grind it to bits or catch it. And then it's missing this back cover. And I don't want it to catch on the pickup. Okay, cool.
Okay, are you ready? How many times do you want to turn over? 10?
Yep.
Wide open throttle, yeah?
Yep.
Let's check that brake booster pipe that I pulled off. Is
Wait.
it blocked enough for you?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, we're tuning over.
Alarm.
Okay, here we go.
Right.
You alright?
Nah, the compression gauge decides to play up. We just tested the Corolla yesterday.
Yeah. You were saying we were just talking how flash the fucking snapper one is?
Oh no! And then the stepper one decides to be like a rotary one.
Yeah, briefly.
Zoop, 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 zoop. This is the one to put air into the cylinder when you're testing. There's no valve in it. This one. Do you want a valve? Yep. Gauge is fine.
Okay, and the valve stops it from coming back, the air coming back.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
That other one's just for cylinder leakage.
Typical.
Yeah, well. Yep, let's test again.
Alright, ready?
Yep. $150.
Yeah, that's alright.
Did you disable the spark?
Oh, you did. That's what you got.
What did I do?
You took the caps off the igniters here.
Plugs off the coils.
Yeah.
I also unplugged the crank angle sensor and unplugged the ECU just to really make sure there's no voltage going to places it shouldn't be going.
Okay.
And I checked that those check the injectors don't have voltage when they don't need it. Came up to the 150, not quite as fast as the other one, but it's good enough. Close enough to 150 for me. Yeah, that one got over the 150, heading towards the 160.
That's still within 10% though.
Still within the 10% though. And it was running pretty bad, mate, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was pretty stinky. Even at turning over now with no spark plugs in it, it's still...
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yep. You've got to remember it's turning over 7 cylinders without a plug in it, and one with a plug in it. Effectively, one's making compression in the. Oh, that's inconvenient. Yep. What was that one? How much was that one, Mike? What did it sound like?
That sounded quite high actually. I'm going to say that was at close to 160.
Nah, it was just another 150.
Oh, was it?
And did you notice I charged the battery? Put the battery on charge, because diagnosing a car with a flat battery is just a prick. Go.
Just starting the green thing.
Yeah.
Alright, you ready?
Yep. Yep. Pretty much hit the 150. Yep. Yep. We're good. You happy there? I would like, so when you put the plugs back in it, make sure you put one of that brand new one in there. Because one looked like it was something different. Two of them?
Yeah.
They don't look new to me, eh?
No.
Put them on the easy side. So put them on the number 1 and number 3. Make sure a new one, the cleanest new one, put it into that back one where we have to take the booster out.
Yeah.
So all new ones on this side, 2 new ones back there, and it's not the problem.
No.
I don't like doing it, but it's not the problem. We're focusing on the problem.
Do you want news buckets? No, just...
No, those ones back in, the customers fitted them.
Yes.
But 2 of those are, something's up. They may have fouled plugs or something. Well, we'll get it going on those. And if it fouls them, it fouls them, you know.
Yeah.
We don't want to put new ones again and then put new ones in and foul plugs. That's just dumb. And they are good enough.
These are the best looking too, anyway.
Yep. Slam them in that back corner. And then I think actually, if you drop the throttle body off for me, let's check. I want to replace the injector plugs because they're all falling apart.
Yeah.
That was the best we could get back then, but I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll put some new ones. We'll put the new proper ones on, and then we know that the plugs are good.
Yeah.
All the other connectors look okay. In the GM box, there might be the clip for this. This is that one of those squeezy ones.
Yeah.
So check that.
Oh yeah, I know where a squeezy clip is.
Oh, good. Get the squeezy clip for that. So we know the water temp's good. And I want to put a meter. I want you to whip the crank sensor out and the cam sensor out and put a multimeter across them, please.
Am I checking for continuity?
Resistance
Oh yeah. Within it.
between the two pins.
Yeah.
Yep. And when you do it, can you just check, go into each of these pins and just touch to earth? Because so there's a big split here. I'm really suspicious of this, eh?
Yeah, well that's where your gut's still telling you. Okay, so is that the right setting?
Go again. 1100? For a minute ago. Which is more than 200.
Is that what it's meant to be?
I'm still just suspicious, even though it tests okay.
Yeah.
Now what I do, take one of those pins and just drop it onto this that shielding.
Oh yeah.
Nothing, eh?
No, next one.
It'll just go through the sensor itself.
Okay.
Nothing. So it doesn't have continuity to ground at the moment, at this point in time.
Should it?
No, it shouldn't.
No, that's
So
right.
that actually
That's
tests out okay. Even though I'm suspicious of it, it tests out okay. But we're going to keep that as our what's going on. Okay, cool.
Should we check the resistance between?
No, you
Oh,
should
yep, absolutely. So pull the sensor out.
Yeah.
Check resistance,
Oh yeah, on that end.
and then we'll continuity back to the ECU, eh?
Yes.
Continuity and continuity.
Continuancy.
Continuancy.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So you're actually testing right there. You're going back through the ECU circuits. So you're checking the resistance of the crank angle sensor through the ECU, not the other way around.
Ah, yeah. So not from the ECU to the crank sensor.
Yeah, you're going the other way around.
Yeah. Okay.
So what we'll do, that's really interesting actually. I had never considered doing it that way. So, as we were talking to Taco, I just learned something.
Yeah.
So what Shay's done is actually, you just checking the resistance through the crank sensor wiring back through the ECU. Do you get a similar reading on your cam angle sensor wiring? Which is, not that one.
It's this one here.
Yeah, that one there. Not the sensor itself. You actually need to do the wiring that goes to the ECU, not the wiring that goes to the sensor.
Oh, okay. So this
Yeah, that
is
one. That one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'd never thought about doing that. What are we going to get? So we should stick to something similar, shouldn't we? Similar circuit.
Yeah, and it is.
Look at that.
So it
this is
stabilizes a bit better.
this is using a link ECU, and then go to the other way. So plug the sensors in and test it from the ECU.
Okay. So this here is the cam sensor.
Yes.
You're gonna have to show what
Top right hand side.
Ooh, look at those.
Oh, look at that.
That's going to be shit, eh?
Could be enough, eh?
Well, especially
If it
with
was
that
twisted
shielding
and
just
touching?
there, yeah.
Okay. Plug it in, do the same test. And test it to the shield as well. No, the shields are the same anyway. So it wouldn't actually matter. Because the ground, at the ECU, the ground and the shield, which is the white wire, are actually in the same pin. So it's only if this one
Was touching the
was touching
shield.
this or the shield.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah.
they're at the same pin.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I've done this side of injector plugs. That one was falling to bits. The others weren't very nice. They are not the problem, but they could lead to a problem. And they could have caused like shorting or arcing. So again, we fix what we do know. In this case, if it's going to keep it maintained and keep it running better for longer, then I'm going to do it. And it's given us time. Of course, Shay has found the possibility of a poor connection over there. Okay, do you want me to show you the pins?
Probably.
Okay, I don't, because I can do it off the top of my head.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Instead of going through the ECU, we're going to unplug the ECU now.
yeah, that's right. So we're going to go the other way.
And what did you say, top left?
I thought I said top right.
So, okay.
You know what? I just unplugged it. It was really easy to unplug. Here it is here. So that's your sensor ground, is that green wire. Okay, so that's like the shielding and the ground side. That's crank is the black wire, and red, which funny enough, that cam angle sensor you were paying attention to the color.
Yep.
That is your cam angle sensor. Okay, so you're expecting 1.1 kilo ohms, 1100 ohms between the green one and the black one, and then the green one and the red one.
Yeah.
And I often use a couple of DTM pins, which didn't we take home and leave at home?
Yeah.
There'll be some at Jace's place. There'll be some on Jace's beach.
Yeah.
So cam angle sensor.
Yep.
ECU, back to ECU.
Yep.
Is good.
Yeah, 1.2, 1.1.
1.1K. And the crank sensor, when you've plugged it in.
It was showing, at the ECU, it was showing 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right to me.
No.
Okay.
But when I tested it on its own, it was showing the same as this was. So we get the tester.
I'm going to plug this in with one hand.
Oh, really good.
No, I saw you test this and it was good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So we're good there.
Yeah, happy.
Yeah, you do that, eh?
Yeah.
I can't do it with one hand. Yeah. Awesome. It wasn't dirty when it came out.
No, it was actually surprisingly clean. It was a little bit too clean.
Genuine Toyota. Okay.
I've got your pins in the hole.
Possibly. Okay, so what you've just done there, the reason it's high is what you've done is you've actually tested. So this is the earth, or green one was the earth,
Yeah.
and you went green one to which one first? The black one first?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the crank sensor.
Oh,
And then what you've done is you've tested the crank sensor to cam sensor circuit, so that's why it's twice as much,
okay.
because you're actually testing
Both those circuits. Okay.
both circuits. So you're going in the positive of the crank sensor,
Yeah.
out the earth to the cam sensor, and then from the cam through the sensor back to the ECU. So you're actually testing both circuits at once there, hence why it's twice as much.
Okay.
So if we go here to here,
Okay.
so that makes sense why it's twice as much.
Okay.
1.2.
Yep. And 1.2.
I thought you were onto something there,
I thought so too.
and that's why we also double check.
Yeah.
1.2, 1.2. So they actually test okay. So the wiring
That's good.
from ECU, we should actually get that on there. Yeah, so the wiring ECU to both the cam and crank sensors is as it should be. I don't like that cam sensor. 1.1, close enough. Okay. Check out the earth on the fuel rail.
Oh, nice.
That is not ideal. That's meant to go to the block, I think.
Or the back of the head.
I think we can probably get it to the back of the head if we pull back. I don't know where it comes out. I can't remember where I put it. Oh, I actually think, to tell you the truth, I actually think this bolted in the middle of the plenum on the intake manifold, and then it had an extra strap that was bolted on the block in the middle, and then came up to that.
Yeah.
So we need to address that, because that will not be ideal. And this is why I'm replacing injector plugs.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, well, yeah. And that one. And that can get in the way of good diagnosis of, there's a timing issue without a doubt, of some sort of phasing issue. And also throttle body, I'll have to wash hands. Well, in the plenum actually. The air temp sensor is gunged, so that'll need a clean once we've got it running. That's because it's been using that as an exhaust. You got those plastics happening?
Yes.
There's the plastic that goes through here too.
Yeah.
There'll be some in the container in the leads box, in those second-hand leads.
Okay.
So just grab a new piece, well, another replacement piece of plastic. We only need the one because it's got one.
Sweet.
And then you can bolt that in properly, and then we won't be worried about the leads catching on stuff. Oh, I'll check you can resistance check the leads too, please.
Yeah.
Check that they're okay. They're 1990 leads. Oh no, actually 1996 leads.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, check those, check they're good.
Well, the car's a 92, so that's the upgrade.
Yeah, did we suggest that this was a 96 engine originally in the Gen 2 that we put in this? In 2006, 2007 was a Gen 2 from 1996? Or were these leads off the Gen 1 and they'd been replaced in 1996?
Different because of
Colour?
the length
Yeah, so,
changes.
well, of course you touch on one end there and you touch in the other end.
Yeah.
And so the little short ones, 5k,
Okay.
5 to 8.
Yep.
The big long ones, 15, 16.
Yeah, I thought so. That's
But
what I'm used
if
to.
they go over 20,
I'm not used to.
or any go open circuit,
Yeah, this is good.
4.6,
Yep.
4.7, it's good. And just do one at a time, because otherwise, we'll end up with mixed up leads and stuff.
Yeah.
Even I just do one at a time.
What about to the coil pack?
Yep, it's the same deal.
Yeah.
It won't tell if it's shorting or arcing.
No.
And that's where it's really good to look at them at night. See
Yeah.
if it's...
Oh, that's a really good one. Hey.
It's really low, isn't it?
Yeah, is that really good though? Yeah.
400. Is that a different kind of lead?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
it is.
it is. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Any idea what I'm doing?
You are setting up marks for the advance.
Where is the timing? Laptop's attached. Battery's attached. I want to see where the timing marks actually are. Where it's actually firing.
Yeah.
So I'm on number 1.
So it should be, what, 10 degrees before top dead centre?
Do you think it's anywhere near 10 degrees? It should be.
Okay.
Do you think it is?
No.
No. Because if it's not at 10 degrees, where's it going to be? That confirms that, because mechanically this engine's working.
Yes, we've figured that.
Okay, as far as that is correct, the cam timing is on correctly,
Yep.
that's working.
The cam angle sensor's working.
This
so
is
crank it.
now over
Yep.
where it is. So what is this and this doing? What information is it? It's feeding to the computer. The computer hasn't been changed. What is causing us interference? What is causing us issues? Crank it. I actually pretty sure I know what it is now. I've seen this before, once. Yep. Oh. So I'm firing at the 4 marks. So I'm like 90 degrees out. Do you want to do it again?
No.
I want you to do it again.
Okay. Do it again, your hands out.
Yep. Yep, so it's 90 degrees out, and so it's meant to be firing there. It's firing 90 degrees advanced, and it actually runs 90 degrees advanced.
What a strong motor.
Woohoo!
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
And it actually runs.
Whoa.
Whoa.
90 degrees out. I don't know how does it get 90 degrees out? I've only seen it 180 degrees out when people...
That's what we're about to find. I know what I promised.
Okay.
I got it sorted. I know exactly what it is now.
When you can have doing the cam out and you have the number 1 cylinder
Yep.
on, you think it's top dead center on the compression stroke, but it's actually top dead center on the exhaust stroke.
Yep.
But that makes it 180 degrees out of the timing.
Well, it's actually 360 degrees, but that's
Yeah.
semantics.
Yeah.
Semantics, eh? Semantics?
Semantics.
Semantics, it's semantics.
Yeah.
It's actually, because
Semantics.
it comes back to the old distributor thing where you have the distributor 180 degrees.
Yeah. That's before my style. Yeah.
I'm that old.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what's wrong. Are you going to call it a day, or you want me to? You want to fix this?
What am I fixing it? But,
You want to fix it?
but,
Okay, let's fix it.
Let's
We'll
find
fix
out.
it. I know what it is. Let's fix it. Take that off. Take that off. Take that off.
Yeah.
Big rattle. Oh shit. There's a fan in the way. Who put a fan there? Who mounted the fan so you could take the radiator out without it touching the fan, without removing the fan? Nice, eh?
It is.
Isn't that clever?
No.
It is clever. But we can't get a rattle gun in there.
Isn't the fan on the wrong way?
No.
Oh.
It's a pusher fan.
Okay. So when...
Oh, got it. Here we
Got
go.
it. Got him.
It should slip off.
It's not slipping.
Not slipping. Yeah, it slipped.
Woohoo! That was a big slip. That was a big slip.
Now, do you want to share with us what it is yet?
Take the next cover off. Just 4 of them. In the middle at the top, 2 each side, 1 at the bottom. I'm going to replace that tomorrow. I'm going to give that a tidy up and replace that plug. I might do the crank sensor plug as well. Put it back together. This feels good, eh? That's on the Kiwi.
I hope so. Yeah, I fucking.
We don't hope. We know.
Yep.
There's no hoping.
That's we're no hoping.
No, we're not hoping. This is.
We're no hoping. Okay, where's the ratchet? Where's that bar with that thing on it?
Did you locked it on that thing? You and you. Locked on it. I'll get the locked on it.
Oh, you mean thread sealant?
Thread sealant. Thread retaining compound. Thread locker. Do I have to call it thread locker? Have you put some thread locker on there?
No. Okay, easy, Doga. We want to be able to get it off.
Blue, it's fine.
Oh.
That's tight.
What's the spec on that?
Tighter than that.
Yeah, it'd be 240, wouldn't it?
Oh,
At least.
okay, lots. Start it. You started it yet? Lightning! Bit lightning! It's still not right, but it's better. Better. Turned off. Turned off. Have I still got a pop out the back there?
A pop?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
Still sounded a bit really rumbly. Which will be on because we don't have a belt. We've got a 4 drive light, which is the check light. Start. So we still got anti-lag, but it revs now. It actually starts and runs. You gave me a fright. Sound better, eh?
Better.
Turned off. Whew! That's a heap better. It actually starts and idles now. Doesn't it?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, what I'm going to do is set base timing. So I'm going to lock it in the computer. Tell me where the timing's at. So you keep an eye down there. Put the timing light. Hold that. I was going to set base timing.
It's at 0. You're at 0. You're at 5 degrees. You're at 10 degrees. That's 15. That's 10. Oh, that's fucking 25.
28.
Yeah, it would be. Oh, I said 25.
So what I did there is I told the computer that we're checking the timing. Cool, we're checking the timing. So it locks it. I was then adjusting it to factory, well, to link spec.
Yeah.
It was on different ones which gave us 0 degrees. But it worked. The numbers were actually the same. I've put in different numbers to get the same result.
Did you swap the pins around in this?
Yeah,
You did it. I saw you switch those.
I swapped the crank pins.
Yeah.
Maybe they fall out, maybe they did something. So I just flicked them around as well. And that got me timing closer. And now it is actually at the same setting that Link ECU would recommend for a 1U ZFE.
So how did those pins get switched around in the first place? Yeah. Okay.
What about the injector pins?
Yeah.
Maybe they got pulled out, maybe something happened, I don't know. Don't care. Don't know, don't care.
Yeah.
But it now runs, but we've still got anti-lag, it's still popping.
I wasn't popping It wasn't popping like it was before you switched those pins.
I wasn't popping then?
No. I'll show you again.
No.
It wasn't missing again like it was. You know
Okay,
that?
start up.
I'm pretty sure.
Cool, go down. Good enough for me.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
You're the fucking man.
Here we go. So what was happening? What had happened?
What hadn't happened?
What had happened?
I'm still confused about how you meant from since we replaced the reluctant wheel.
Yeah, what was up with the reluctant wheel?
We know, I don't know.
You got no idea?
No. Well,
And what had happened?
You had mentioned that it may be missing a tooth.
Or a cam phasing problem.
Yeah.
So it was having trouble picking up between your cam sensor and your crank sensor. Okay? So it could have been faulty cam sensors. Poor readings, like if there was broken wires in there.
Which we've got.
It's ugly.
Yeah.
But it's, there's ugly wires here now.
Yeah.
That's done 15 years worth of work, and that's pretty normal for a 1UZ to have split wires there. Okay?
Yeah.
But at some point, someone's been rough on this. And like put a puller, and it's tweaked that one out of line. So when it comes around, there's a chance either it thinks it's accelerating rapidly, okay?
Yeah, because it's jumping a tooth.
Or it misses that tooth completely and then goes, where am I?
Yeah.
It doesn't know what to do and puts things, it just makes shit up.
Man, we should hang on to that because I'm surprised that even fit on there and didn't tear the fucking.
Well, it goes the other way.
Yeah.
The belt's on this side.
Yes.
So it's not going to hurt the belt. It's just running out towards the cover in free space. But someone's been rough beforehand or pulling a belt on or put a pry bar in behind it. Something's happened.
Yeah.
Bent wheel. I've seen it before.
Yeah.
The last one stuffed the igniter.
Yeah.
Okay. It was getting late in the day. I actually would have normally put my scope onto it, my little oscilloscope. There was a couple of things that I didn't show you. I did look in the ECU to check it hadn't been fiddled with. It hadn't been fiddled with, okay?
No, it hadn't. No.
The ECU was the tune that had been running in this car probably since when I tuned it in 2007.
Reliability.
Lovely. I didn't actually even tune it. I just took a bass tune out of another car and I banged it in this one. And I said to the young fella, I said, it needs to go on the dyno. And it never happened. And I've actually seen the tune out of this with several subsequent owners. And it's the same tune from there. And I know which other ute it came out, but we were building so many utes back at this point in time, the 2007 to 2010, we were just churning these out. And so I just had a real good bass file that I used to bang in them. It's a little bit boggy, it could do with, but it's got no radiator, it's not up to temperature, it's all those other things. So I've done what was asked of me, make it so it revs. Now I'll ring the customer and give it a rev. Actually, no. I've been replying on that thread all day. Ben in Australia has been really into it. He loves this sort of diagnosis.
Oh, that's good.
And no one's picked up what it is.
And that forum too.
Yeah, that forum. That's the one I was doing. That Facebook forum. Yeah. So I'll put a video up of it right now. And we'll see what sort of response we get. We'll see what the guys say. We might do a bit of an update. And I'll better let the customer will see the Facebook because he's been watching it. Success! It's running like it should. Well, not right now, it's turned off, but yeah, it does go. So a job like this, it's about using a good process, getting good test results and trusting your test results and not second guessing yourself. Sometimes having a sleep, just leaving the vehicle and going away and having a sleep works really well. And identifying what is actually going wrong. I was fairly certain early on it was a cam phasing issue, but I wanted to know why. And I wanted to know that the engine itself was okay. Ben on the Facebook post is still suggesting compression spat springs, which spat shims, because he spits shims out and they're kind of still compression test up, but they do weird stuff, which is a really good suggestion, but I don't think it's that. I think it probably still needs fuel pressure checked and fuel flow checked and those things, maybe a fuel filter, and then tuning for the new engine, because it's gone from a Gen 2 engine to a Gen 1 engine, so the tune is a little bit different. And that earth needs sorting. There's some other stuff. Put a radiator in and warm it up. But also, guys get to this point and then they get all worried that there are still more issues. Sometimes just putting the radiator and putting it all together, going for a drive, as long as you're confident that nothing's going to get damaged, is a really good thing to do, and it clears your mind and clears the engine out, makes them run better. This thing, the exhaust will be full of crap. The engine's full of carbon. There's been exhaust smoke all through the intake. All those things still really need to be addressed. The intake air temp sensor is covered in crap. Throttle body's dirty. The IAC will be dirty. That wasn't our goal. Our goal was to fix the main problem and focus on the main problem. Fixed a few other little bits and pieces like the injector plugs, because that could contribute to the problem. Move the leads away from the cam and crank sensor wiring. I'd still like to see a cam angle sensor put in it. Tomorrow I'm going to put a new crank angle sensor plug on it, and I'm going to put a new cam angle sensor plug on it, just because there's those slightly damaged wires, because I don't want those. So, but pretty much at this point I'm happy. It's done, it's running, it's doing what it should, and it's been a pretty good day's work. This was the best part of this was our main focus for the day. While Shay was doing some bits and pieces, I was putting some leads, and I even put the leads wiring them on another engine. So we have had a really successful day. So, hope that's been helpful. Talk to you again soon. Catch you later.